We've gotten straight out of the car and headed for a massive climb. There's lots and lots of stitchwork and forget-me-nots down here. Can you see? Look at all this pretty stitchwork. A flower of the fairies. It's said that these flowers can help you find your way out of a woodlands at night time by holding up their glowing lanterns. But the truth to that is actually that these tend to grow on the edges of woodlands. They like that dappled light with a little bit of sun. So they can help you to find your way at night time because of these white flowers. And they do kind of, well, they are kind of illuminated of a night time a little bit better than your other coloured flowers that you also might find at the edges of woodlands. So yeah, if you are lost at night time, look for the stitchwork in the dark and you might find your way just on the edge of where you need to be. All of these trees here are newly planted because this area, this little stretch, is or has been absolutely ravaged by ash dieback. Almost all of the trees have succumbed. Many of them are marked to come down still. It's a shame. Ash trees are beautiful. Gosh, look at all of this yellow. So pretty, man. This is crosswort or smooth bed straw, and it's a very, very pretty plant with these dainty little yellow flowers, look, that just grow in these little circles or whorls around the leaves. And the leaves grow in these kind of cross formations, these leaves that come up the stem with the little flowers just coming out. And this is so prolific here. Check out all of these forget-me-nots and the red catchfly and the hogweed. This is such a lovely wildflower meadow, and there is loads of this red campion or red catchfly. Red catchfly has actually got a lot of saponins, which means that it creates kind of like a natural soap when it's boiled up and strained. What's Chris found? Hang on. What have you found? Look what Chris has just found. So you know wood avens, which have got the yellow flowers. These grow in damper ground, and this is water avens. And it's got these really lovely drooping, nodding kind of burgundy sepals, and then the flower petals are actually these peachy coloured ones inside.
Where
can you see?
Leaves? Is that the leaves?
Yeah, the leaves are here.
Yeah.
So can you see how it looks like wood avens?
Yeah.
But it's
They're closed though.
Huh?
Why are they all closed?
They're closed. What? That's just how the flower is. And these are the sepals. Like, they're not actually the flower petals. The flower petals are these peachy ones. This is a really beautiful plant that you can find in wet ground. But it's not especially wet here, is it? Look how pretty all these flowers are. It must stay consistently damp here then if you found cuckoo flower.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. What a lovely little stand of cuckoo flower. This is in the brassica family, and it's named cuckoo flower because it tends to arrive with the cuckoo bird as it migrates from Africa. But these have got a really delicious flavour, very peppery and spicy, a little bit like rocket. The flowers are nice, and the leaves especially have got a lovely peppery kind of flavour to them. There's another one here. Beautiful. Can you hear that chiff-chaff? Check out this carpet, or jungle rather now, of dog's mercury. Dog's mercury is a toxic plant, but it's an ancient woodland indicator, and it's dioecious, which means that there are male and female plants. So let me find you some for example. So these ones here with the little balls, these are the seed pods, and this is the female plant. And then, that's a good example here. These are all female plants with the little balls. And then let me have a little wander, and I'm sure I'll see some male ones with the flowers. Yep, here we go. So we've got some here that have got flowers instead of the little balls. And these are the male ones that pollinate the female plants. I can sense Chris has got tick anxiety because he's just tucking his shoes, his socks into his trousers into his socks rather, tucking his trousers into his socks. But I am always prepared. This tree is interesting. Like, it was probably once grazed by a deer. Looks about deer height, and you can see that very sharp V. This is not usually a great sign for trees because the sharper the V, the more likely the tree is to lose one of those big limbs. And you can see here it actually sparks off into 3 pieces, and you can see that the big scar kind of running down there, that's putting a lot of pressure on that one of those trunks. So one of those eventually will likely come down. What way do you want to go?
I think we should go to the meadows and look maybe for small kids or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan.
It's a bit easier.
Yeah. So this is Lords and Ladies or Cuckoo Pint. And the flowers actually kind of trap insects inside. Are there any in there?
There's a couple of little flies.
Yeah, so the flowers emit kind of like a heat and a scent to attract insects. But this is one that is a little bit fresher. You can see that it's got this kind of tubular shape with a little dangly piece inside. And this is often called Adam and Eve because, well, this outside is supposed to look like the female part and the inside is the male part. Oh yeah, look, wild strawberry here. We've got some ground ivy just next to it. This is the ground ivy in flower, and the ground ivy has got a really beautiful taste to it actually. It's very herby and it's really lovely with a roast dinner. Chris just spotted this little bugle on the floor. This is another very pretty and striking wildflower. Chris has been looking for his first orchid of the year and he's just found one.
It's the one with spots on the leaf.
Early purple. It's pretty, isn't it? Look at the spotted leaves.
Because normally you can spot the leaves before the orchid, can't you?
Yeah. And why do we love orchids?
Because they're related to mushroom. They grow with mycelium.
Yeah, they have a mycorrhizal relationship with certain fungi. And because the seeds of orchids are so small, they have no energy reserves. So they need to have something like a partner, like mushrooms or fungi, to be able to give them enough energy through that mycelial network. And they kind of just help to give them enough energy and able to get going and germinate and flower. Pretty cool. It's just spotted as well, he's finding everything today, this maidenhair spleenwort. This is a really cute little fern. I've actually just run out of space on my phone and had to delete a couple of old videos, so hopefully I can film the rest of this video for today. But this little green down here, this is salad burnet, and it's got a very cucumbery taste. It's really, really delicious, and I love to add this into sandwiches. It's got a very fresh kind of cucumbery taste. And these are the little seed heads. I just had to put my Merlin app on for this bird because I didn't recognise it. It's a greater white throat. All of these flowers on here are all meadow saxifrage. These are such pretty, pretty flowers. Almost like cartoon flowers. They're so perfect and plump. This is a beautiful native wildflower. This is Marsh marigold, and it grows in wet, damp places. So here, this often gets flooded from this little stretch of the river here, and you can see that it's still very damp down here. So this marsh marigold It's loving life. It's very pretty. It's not edible. It's part of the ranunculus family or the buttercup family. And then lots of meadowsweet and watermint too. I've taken a couple of sprigs of these because this looks like a very, very vigorous watermint. So I'm going to just pop this into some glasses of water when I get home and propagate this for my own ponds in the allotment. Just collected some of these meadowsweet leaves to make a syrup with when I get home. It's started to rain now. Oh my gosh, we have just walked a good hour or so around all of this dale and woodlands in search of wildflowers, to be fair, but we always keep our eye out for mushrooms. We've just got back to the car park and look what we have found. Let me find you a good patch. Have you got a good little stash over there? Hang on, let me show you. Oh, and down here. Oh, and over there. Oh my gosh. There as well. And your patch is amazing. Look at these. St George's mushrooms, Caliside gambosa. Maybe I'll be a bit quieter because there's some people over there.
Yep. Little one there.
Oh my gosh, they are everywhere. So many, far too many for us to even want to begin to collect. I don't know if you can make out, but just beneath all of this dog's mercury is all of these St George's, all in a circle, just around this elm tree. So we've got a decent amount, and we're going to leave all of these here, and then there's a big patch over there as well.
Down there.
Oh yeah, there's loads through there. Yeah. Leave these for the next people or animals. I think I'm going to call that a day. Pretty stoked with the harvest. Going to get back to the kitchen and prep these.